breakfast. Time to talk ideas for the week with Ben Young, normally on a Monday, but gosh, he's been busy this week. Ben, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Of course, it was not social media. It was the
Auckland Startup Weekend.
Auckland Startup Weekend. That's right. Yeah, I had the hashtag in my mind, and I see it was social media. Startup Weekend. Yes.
Well, it was really good.
We previewed it last week.
Yeah. So it went on last weekend. Started on Friday, went right through till Sunday. I did a bit of mentoring this time, and it was just interesting going through the process for the second time around. Compared to the first weekend, the teams progressed so much more. Like, I think just running it again, having the mentors able to impart their knowledge a bit more efficiently and getting a bit more structure around it made a big difference.
And some new faces as well?
Yeah, so there was very, very small overlay from the first one, like maybe less than 20%.
Okay.
So, well, I'm just guessing by looking around the crowd.
Yeah.
So it was actually quite impressive. And there's some really cool ideas there. There were lots of parenting apps, things for parents, basically from baby monitors to parenting wikis, what to do on the weekend, that kind of stuff. There was a really cool idea around algorithms and detecting where people are looking on webcams to try and match up who they're looking at. So, the problem with the webcams is you're looking at the video of who you're talking to, which is below the webcam.
Yeah.
So you're not making eye contact.
No, that's right.
So they had some ideas on how you could fix that.
How? I'd be interested.
Yeah. Really, really neat idea. But through the weekend they pivoted and they focused more on building algorithms to detect the emotions of people that you were talking to.
Okay.
So just matching up data points on what your face was doing and facial features to see how you were responding. So the idea being that you could then take that technology and put it into Skype or Google or anything else.
No, that's rubbish. I reckon go back to the first idea. Just try and match it, somehow alter the image so that they were looked like they were staring at the cam, even though they weren't.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be a winner. I mean, any number of companies would buy that. Skype, Microsoft, we own Skype anyway, Google.
Yeah.
Wow, that would be a winner.
That was quite a nice patent play, where if you can get it and patent it, then you've got something quite valuable, and you can sell that to someone.
Yeah.
The difficulties with that is it's a little bit hit or miss. Like, if those guys just push you off and they figure it out themselves using a different novel method, you're kind of in the hole. So, but totally, I was all over that one.
Yeah.
There was a kid-safe phone, which is actually pretty cool. The idea is it locks down all the features on your phone when you give it to your kids. And it's got like games, and so you say what games it should have. It's like Call Mummy, Call Daddy, Emergency, and a couple of other features.
Big buttons.
Yeah. And the idea was, you use it for phone training, so that over time you can reward and open up extra features, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And it also does location detection for the parents.
Yeah.
In terms of, where are the kids?
Right.
So actually,
that's cool.
That is pretty cool. The difficulty with it is the feasibility. Like, for example, a lot of phones won't let you take control of the phone in that way. So I think you have to put some kind of extra special case on it or something like that. There's another one called Identify, which is a live dashboard of shoplifting threats.
Oh, yeah?
So the idea is to identify people that have been caught shoplifting and share those images with other store owners.
So facial recognition stuff.
I think it was more around initially distribution of repeat offenders. Because so much theft is just done by a small group of people. Just when a theft happens one day, get that image to everyone out in the neighbourhood so that they know that there's a likelihood.
Okay, so that image would pop up on a screen?
Yeah,
some kind of app
something like that. I didn't get to see the end product, unfortunately.
Right.
But massive problem. A lot of retailers have priced that into what they sell anyway. But like, if you can free up some cash, especially to a big retailer, it's going to make a big difference.
Cool.
The winner was Audio Scribe, and basically what they do is they do transcriptions on the fly. They take audio as it comes in, sends it out to the cloud, dices it up into 30 or 60 second slicers,
Yeah.
and then they use Mechanical Turk, which is an Amazon service,
Right.
to basically get it transcribed. And so Mechanical Turk it's an online service for splitting out discrete little jobs to thousands of people,
Okay.
and then they'll do that job for a small fee.
And what sort of prices are we talking about?
I'm not sure. Like a few bucks. The idea being if you can take a massive task, break it up into 1,000 little easy tasks, each of those tasks can be managed much more efficiently, so therefore at a cheaper price, so the overall task is much cheaper than you would have thought. And then it sends you the transcription back, and yeah, it can basically do it off your iPhone.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah,
I like that.
it was really cool. So that's one that won, and it's interesting. Within 90 minutes, kind of, on the Friday, you can kind of tell who are going to be the top three.
Yeah.
Just because of how the team structures, who gets behind it, how the leadership is, how receptive they are to feedback, and then they just lock everything and get going. And even if other teams get organised a day later, they're already a day behind.
Right.
And the teams that got in early have actually sculpted their idea and done that much more work on the execution that it's much more attractive.
Yep.
And this is what happened at the first startup weekend. Taxi Surfer, they were coding within the first 2 hours, I think, and they benefited from the same advantage because it's only a short time frame. If you can get ahead of the pack really quick, you can really develop the business model and question it, and just make it really solid and really strong.
So what's next for AudioScribe? In
So I'm not sure. I haven't caught up with them. It sounds like they received some funding initially a few weeks ago for the idea. So I think they're going to take it to market in the States.
Great.
So it sounds like there's a decent amount of potential with it.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about the others. I believe a few of them are going to give it a go. Interestingly, a few weeks back we were talking about co-collaborative consumption, about renting goods from your neighbourhood.
Yeah.
And so one of the ideas was down the road, which was renting goods off your neighbours.
They've been listening to the show.
I don't know.
And that idea didn't gain traction at all?
I think it did gain traction, but it hadn't been as developed as the other teams.
Yeah.
I wasn't there for the final pitches, but from what I heard, the other ones were just much more developed in terms of just their business
Good
model
name, just down the
execution.
road.
Yeah, it is really good name.
Or Over the Fence would be a good one.
I'm sure that's taken. Isn't there a movie called Over the Fence?
Probably.
So yeah, really, really cool. It was great to see another startup weekend going.
Yeah.
There's one happening in, I think, November 2nd in Wellington, and then early next year there'll be one in Christchurch.
Yeah.
It's very, very cool. It's a really great process. You know, if you're interested in the space, you should really go along. Like, I was really impressed at the level of knowledge that everyone on the teams gained over the weekend. Sure, they might not have won, but everyone would have walked away from that with a new skill set that they didn't have before, which is great for all of us.
And perhaps who knows, perhaps an investor is always potential as well.
There were definitely investors there.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Ben Young with some ideas there, talking about the Auckland Startup Weekend. Listen out for, stay tuned to social media and whatnot to find out about a startup weekend near you as well. Yeah. I know they're happening around the country as well. And bwaggy.com, bwaggy.com.
Yeah.
Time now here on Kiwi is